Well, this is kind of the problem where you date back 3 starts ago. His first start against Tampa, where everybody was saying, oh, look at Gerrit Cole. He wanted to stay in the game, and he fought his manager. Well, I looked at that and said, hey, he didn't do his job. Gerrit Cole was supposed to go out there and put up zeros against the Rays and give his team a chance to win. He didn't do that, giving up home runs, putting his team behind. So at the end of the day, I don't care about his 6 2/3 stat line or that he was passionate about staying in the game where he didn't deserve to. And then you look at 2 starts since, he got clobbered against the Braves in Atlanta. And again, he's supposed to be the stopper, supposed to be the ace of that staff, and he's giving up home runs left and right, walking guys, getting hit all over the park. I know it's early, even in a shortened season where you're not going to, Gerrit Cole's going to be judged on what he does in the postseason. These are essentially postseason starts. They need him to be an ace. Anybody could go out there and do what he's doing. That's not $324 million worth.
And Yankee fans are disappointed, rightfully so. I don't think anyone is saying that the contract wasn't worth it or that Gerrit Cole is a bust, although we did get a lot of Carl Pavano tweets that I thought were a little too soon. But we're going to know whether that contract is a bust or not. Right now, that's not the argument. That's not the conversation. The conversation is, does the Rays and do the Rays have Gerrit Cole's number, and do you trust him against the Rays? And right now, after last night, I think that answer is no.
Overall, Doug, I'm a little surprised by the overall tenor of the conversation of not just here, but generally, like, why has Cole been disappointing and what's wrong with Cole? He's clearly been quite good this year. The numbers that we had on the screen, the ERA, the WHIP, everything else, he's been excellent. Top shelf pitcher this year with the Yankees, with a couple of hiccups and obviously some issues with the home run, which I think relates to what he's doing with the fastball mostly and why he's getting a little too much plate with it. Some kinks to work out, but he's been almost as advertised so far.
The numbers that you're mentioning, Andy, just aren't quite, at least the ERA, and I know you and I have gone back and forth about this in the past. 3.91 is not the ERA that many of us would have predicted he'd have, and it certainly was not the ERA that he had in a Houston Astros uniform. I mean, you could say that he's been good, but Yankees fans today are looking back at a start last night that they thought was big against their biggest division rival, potentially the best team in the American League, and that's just a tough sell to them, I think.
Doug, did Cole have a good season last year?
Yeah, he had a great season.
So after 8 starts last year, he had a higher ERA. I believe it was 4.11
Well, that's a different conversation,
4.10.
and if you want to say he's a slow starter, and that's just what this is, then that's fine. But to say he's having a good or a great season right now in 2020 with the expectations and the contract going in, I'm not sure I agree with that. That's all I'm saying.
As a pitcher, he's having a good to very good season right now at this moment. And, I mean, those are just the facts. Those are the objective facts. There are solo home runs that are killing the ERA and are coming at some inopportune times. And, yes, he has to clean that up. And I'll cede the floor to others in a moment. But I just don't agree with the premise that he's not having a good year.